Our UMOJARADIOMTAANI tour today has landed here to UMOJA 2 ward offices. Yeah, we have had the opportunity to meet with the area MCA, Mr. Shadrack. So we are going to get one or two remarks from him, how the East administration has been since he assumed office and how the progress has been so far. Welcome to our today's shoot. I am Anthony Mbithi. Good.
Yeah.
Unaweza tukumbusha majina tu tukiendelea?
Yeah, my name's Shadrack Machanje. Namunyu.
Who is Shadrack?
Shadrack is just a simple person from a humble background. Born and bred in UMOJA 2. Lived all my life in UMOJA 2. And I think all my activities, I undertake all my activities in UMOJA 2, within UMOJA 2 and its environs.
So now that you are born and brought up in UMOJA 2, what motivated you to vie for the MCA position?
What motivated me, I think, first of all, I wasn't a politician. I was a sportsman. Yeah, I was a sportsman engaging.
So you engaged with several youth?
Yeah, so in that relationship between sporting activities, especially I was so much connected to boxing because I used to play boxing as an amateur boxer. I went to, then I turned professional later till 2016, and even now I'm in boxing management in a world body, World Professional Boxing Federation, being the Kenyan representative.
So you are now in the
first. Boxing made me and made my name to be known. Yeah.
By many youths.
Somehow, because when I became a champion, my name was like a household name in this in my hood. Everybody wanted to know about who's this Shadrack. We see in the newspapers, in television. They all wanted to see and to know when I'm going to have my next game, my next fight. We could go all along because I used to fight for Telecom Boxing Club. Yeah, in Maringo, since we don't have a gym in UMOJA. Yeah, when I was in school, I used to get, because I schooled in Isili, I used to walk from Isili every day in the evening from 5 after studies. I walked to Maringo. It was called the Telecom Boxing Club, formerly Poster Boxing Club. I trained, then come back home. Yeah, but my parents were against the idea of boxing so much, so I just forced myself. But later on, they realized the fruits of boxing, and I had the passion of boxing. Yeah.
So before you switched to politics, you had first retired from boxing, am I?
No,
it was the passion.
Before switching to politics, we had a friend of ours before I entered the political field. There was a friend of ours who vied for the UMOJA ward, because UMOJA 1 and UMOJA 2 was still one ward. It was not separated yet before the referendum. So we had a friend of ours because we were youth, we were young people those days. I think in 2002 he was called Richard Mutinda Kavemba. He passed on sometimes back during the Governor Sonko's regime, and he was a garbage collector, so he motivated us we campaigned for him because it was a larger UMOJA. We campaigned for him.
So that was your first exposure to politics?
Yeah, that was my first exposure to politics. And after campaigning for him, he won the seat as UMOJA councillor. By then they were called councillors. So in 2007, before 2007, I think the 2006 referendum, this ward was split into two. And that's why I gave my try in politics. First of all, I did not go for the political seat of councillor, or the MCA seat, which has come to be from councillor to MCA. I vied for UMOJA 2 youth under ODM ticket as a youth leader UMOJA 2 for ODM party. I won the seat, and it was by then that
you saw you have the potential to move on with politics.
Yeah, I had that potential. Yeah.
Now that your political career was motivated from sports, now the youth interaction. After you assumed office, you're in your first time, right?
When?
You're in your first time in office.
My first time.
First time.
Yeah.
So which initiatives have you put in place to ensure that youth in UMOJA 2 area are empowered?
Right now, yeah, because it's my first time, I think for this term I've done some projects for the youth, which I've been doing even before I was elected. I can't say that.
So your service began even before you
even before I was elected. As I said before, I was elected as youth leader, ODM. I was engaging in sporting activities like boxing, and we had also to promote talent, like promoting sports like football and basketball and other sports within the ward. So we had so many youth initiatives around UMOJA 2, some of which included nurturing young boxing talent, some of which up to now have been employed in the armed forces, some in the police, some in major corporate bodies around Nairobi and the country. Some are taking part in international tournaments. And we are proud of that because currently I'm the patron of Kayole boxing team, and I'm also a member of the national Kenya Boxing Federation, the professional one.
Talking about sports and boxing, why did you choose to go with boxing when football is more popular in our country?
Yeah, you know, football is more popular in Kenya and in worldwide indeed.
Yeah.
But I love boxing because I realized that when you do boxing, it's much better, much easier to succeed than football. You know, in football you rely on other players to succeed. When you go to the field, you rely on the other 11 or 10 players. But in boxing, it's you and you alone. So it's upon your discipline, dedication, hard work, and that determination to succeed. That's why I love boxing so much, and I don't think I can. I always dream of boxing besides politics. So when I entered the political field, my first active political, after winning the councillor seat for helping my friend to win the seat, my first major political assignment was in 2007 elections when I was the youth leader ODM. Then there came a member of parliament who was vying, a person who was vying as a member of parliament called Mugabe Were. He was then a councillor at Dandora. He came to vie for MP Embakasi, a large Embakasi, and he chose me as the youth representative and youth campaigner for his campaign secretariat, and we campaigned so hard among with the other youths and women around UMOJA and Embakasi in general, and we managed to win the seat for ODM.
So aside from the sports and boxing, are there any other initiatives for the youth empowerment, maybe like education funding, bursaries? Do you do such?
Yeah, I also say, and in fact I also tell each and everyone who takes part in sports that you cannot do sports alone. Sports runs concurrently with education. Yeah, because you can be a good sportsman today, then you can even get a scholarship, let's say in Europe, as many people go to Europe. Let's say you are a footballer, then immediately you land in Europe. After 2 weeks, your leg gets broken, or you get a major injury, which means your sporting career has been put to an end. Does it mean you are going to return back to Kenya? No. So you have to have done an
extra thing.
Yeah, extra thing, which basically is education. Yeah. So you must, education, you must be, as much as you are good in sports, you must also work hard in studies. That's why we have taken part in so many education and promotion of educational activities, including giving out bursaries and scholarships amongst the young people.
Scholarships, you take them abroad or
no,
they
scholarships
operate
within
Kenya.
Within Kenya.
That's for the tertiary education, right?
Yeah, for tertiary and for secondary education. We have been working with so many. You know, if I rely or I depend so much on county or from the county, as you know, the work of an MCA is well defined: representation, legislation, and oversight.
Sure.
And there's no direct funding from the county. So I just lobby for NGOs to come. I have 6 NGOs operating here in UMOJA too.
Now the NGOs are the ones that are funding the
the
scholarships.
NGOs, most of them are funding. An example, I have a Dreams organization which has funded Form 1, 75 Form 1s. They've bought all the required materials for joining Form 1s, including shoes, blankets, those baskets, and they paid for 1 year fees. They promised to pay for 4 years. We have USAID, which is also promoting on the same. We have also people living with disabilities who are willing to go and continue with studies. We have organizations which pay for them school fees and also help them in terms of their upliving, like donating wheelchairs. Because
before we get into the people with disabilities, now about the youth, UMOJA is based in Eastlands, right? Almost near Kayole.
Near Kayole.
So that means that youth in this area, some may be persuaded to get into some bad behaviors like crime, drug abuse. Do you have those engagement platforms to make sure you are in touch with the youth on the ground and maybe put some action in curbing such behavior? Yeah, so we are talking about youth engagement or at ground level and ensuring that they don't fall in the trap of drugs and crime. So I wanted you to highlight on me how your engagement has been so far, and maybe if there has been some success rate.
You know, if you want youth to stay away from drugs and insecurity and other immoral activities, the best thing is to create opportunities for them.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's I think my way of doing things, because as I said, I have to work through certain people or NGOs that promote me or come to promote youth through me. We've got an NGO called NEA, Nobility Empowerment Agency, that recently has launched the first car wash for the youth. And when we talk about youth, we talk about
that
young women.
About that car wash, can I interrupt? I saw like there was a clip. Kanjos who had demolished one of your cows, and it got so emotional actually. What triggered that?
What triggered
the
demolition? It's not licensing. It's just a youth project. The agency came and through, when I lobbied, they came, we discussed, and they said they are going to build 5 cow sheds for 5 groups. Yeah. I look for 5 groups, and that was the first couch to be built.
It was the first,
yeah. You know, the couch is it's a budget. It costs around like 400. The couch that is there around 400,000.
Hey, that's a lot of cash.
And because there's a tank, there's a good machine, and so many other, the stand and the shed. So when the Kanjo people came, they wanted us to give them something so that the couch can start running. The and they had to force their way that that couch, if they are not given something, it's not going to operate. But I told them that this thing is a project for the youth, area youth. We are trying to eradicate poverty. We are trying to reduce insecurity, and we are trying to reduce this drug abuse amongst the youth, because we had taken three ladies and three young men to run the couch. Unfortunately, they went ahead and demolished the.
So does that mean that initiative of setting up car wash ilisimamia hapo?
No, we are still continuing. You know, they demolished it, and we used the proper channels. In fact, I thank the governor for coming in, and he really stood with the youth, because he also wants to see the youth being empowered. He came there even personally, and he said that the cow should be taken back, and he was was much concerned about more development for the youth, and he said he's going to support them in whichever way they want. So we have only put up the first one. In fact, the Kanjo people cut those metals, and we had to. It took a lot of money to repair, and it's not.
Yeah, I saw the way you reacted. It was not
in the
good.
same situation that it was. But that's the first one, and we hope we are going to look for a place so that we can construct the second couch and the third, fourth, and fifth. The same NGO that put up the couch, they came and as much as we look for youth empowerment, we also have to look for women empowerment. The same NGO told me that we look for a space. They put up a bakery college that's for registered women group. They put up a bakery, then they set up they start baking bread and this eateries that are used to through the bakeries, so that they can start selling and earn a living. That's a form of empowerment. And since that was their first project, in fact, the NGOs...
How did the NGOs react to the news that their project had been
First of all, I told you I had brought 6 NGOs. So when they saw this project being demolished, all the 5 NGOs
they had to step back a little.
They had threatened to ship out and go elsewhere to do their activities or projects, because they feared that if we bring projects here, then
they won't be a success.
People are going to demolish. Then it's better to look for other places. And this was the pilot project in Nairobi, in fact. They used to operate in northeastern provinces, where they had to do borehole drilling and other activities, feeding the hungry. So this borehole business was the pilot project. Then after the 5 projects, the next project was the women, the bakery for women.
Now that we have been in public service for a while, do you think like the Kitu Kidogo is one of the problems or the adults towards youth empowerment?
Much really, because I think this Kitu Kidogo has even led to some of the public utilities being grabbed in around UMOJA too. For even now, adjacent here at the chief's place, we have a social law that we've been fighting for the last 25 years since childhood. And it was just reclaimed back 4 years back through the NMS, through Mbithi, who was the NMS chairperson. And he really helped the community in getting back the land. And we have other parcels of land which have been grabbed through the same corrupt activities. Because as per now, we should be having a social hall. And the social hall, in fact, I'm pushing for it. It's supposed to start in, I think next month, it will be starting. And even the same area that we have the social hall, I have also lobbied for another organization that is going to build an art center and a modern studio just there, adjacent to the field.
Earlier you had mentioned about people with disabilities, and you have had some initiatives to promote their welfare. How has that been so far?
It has been successful because I see people with disabilities. Disabilities.
What gave you that idea of dealing with people with, because I've not seen many MCS do such.
What made me, disability isn't inability, first of all.
Sure.
And what made me to have much concentration on people living with disability, I have a friend of mine who is here, Michael Bogo. We were friends since childhood.
You grew up together?
We grew together, and all of a sudden he lost his eyesight.
That shows it can happen to anyone.
So this showed me that this can happen to anyone, and we had to give him the hope to avoid that at least, so that he can know that he has people that can, who can support him in so many things. So that really touched us and our friends, because you grew up with someone, then all of a sudden, after in the age of the late 30s, he loses his eyesight. And that's when I just realized we have to do more, and we have to do something good and better to make these people have hope of life in everything that they do. So I looked for an organization that can help all these people living with disabilities in UMOJA, and we don't, for disabilities, we don't help only people within UMOJA too. We deal with the entire Embakasi West as a constituency. Yeah, because we have so many projects for disabled people. We have so many things that can help them.
You know,
so we just advise anybody who is living with disability and can want some help to come in our office, and they get much help.
You know, there are, in some families there is a stigmatization of people with disabilities.
Yeah.
You find, like, for example, if you are born and you can't walk, maybe you are locked in a certain room so that people don't see you. So how do you reach out to people to tell them that you have a program that that is targeting people with such kind of disabilities?
Yeah, we have had such cases where we have been told
and that is a very
there are
bad
people
case,
sleeping.
actually,
Yeah.
because these are normal people.
Yeah, but you find that their parents are locking them in the houses and they are young children. So we just reach out to them. Sometimes we use the administration to go and force these parents to bring these people so that they can get the much help they need. We just try to tell the parents that disability is not the end of the world. After all, these people have to live. They have a life to live. They have to survive. And they can even perform other activities like a normal human being taken care of. Yeah.
So how is the process, starting from coming to your office, getting registration? Do they go to school, or how do they get?
No, you know, we have different different types of helps that that we give, assistance that we give these people, because there are those that if a person gets a wheelchair, is much comfortable. There are those that cannot afford a wheelchair, so we've been giving out wheelchairs through these organizations. Somebody can get a wheelchair, then you give him something small. He goes out in town, he starts selling sweets. You know, the capital is like 5,000, 4,000 shillings. Then he earns a living. Then there's another one who wants the walking stick. There's those who want the hearing aid for studies. And if we find that there are those that are capable of going to school or going to class, then we support them. And these organizations help us in terms of education, in terms of sponsoring and fees, and such like, even uniforms. Yeah.
Now, talking about UMOJA, now where you are elected, do you have some projects that you have set up, maybe roads, not the MCA role apart from the extra one?
Yeah, now as the MCA role, as I said, main role, as you know, the functions of an MCA. But my first year, I've done my first year project, which I think is the longest road to be done currently by any MCA with drainage. It's this road that I built from CFF, from Moi Drive CFF to PAG Church, and the road is awaiting, it's 80% complete. It's now awaiting tarmacking. So anytime we are going to spread the asphalt on it very soon. That's the first project that I've done, my first year, because I've been in office for 1.5 years. The second project, which I've said is going to start very soon in the next 3 to 4 weeks, is the social hall here at the social hall grounds.
Talking about drainage, I have seen that in UMOJA there are some areas that there have been overflow of waters, and the water is scattered all over the place, and you can find that it is disrupting people's activities. Have you mikakati gani kuhakikisha drainage iko sawa?
And you know, drainage, as I said, some of these things are brought by corrupt county officials, because you know, you find that some buildings are built on top of the drain system. So when you
is it that a danger to the people living in the building?
But some people don't care. So you realize that when you want to go and pave that way so that the drain can be free and water can flow freely, people rush to the courts, and you know, you have to obey court orders. We can't disobey court orders, and you know how much court cases last in Kenya, and that has really made us lag behind in terms of doing some things in terms of development. Even the sewerage system, sewage is spilling all over Umoja too. Why? Because
the sewage system and the drainage system has not been so friendly in the area.
Because even sewage, water mixing with sewage, because people have,
and you see that can cause an outbreak of some of these waterborne diseases.
Yeah, but some officials don't care. As much as they get something, then they
does that come back to the kidogo we are talking about?
Yeah, that's the same thing we are talking about. Because it's very bad to see water mixing with sewage, then you realize that.
And it's for human consumption.
Yeah, for human consumption. It's very bad. It can cause a major outbreak that can even kill people. Yeah.
Now, as we wind up our today's session, which message do you have for the people in your area, the Umoja people, Umoja 2 residents?
For the people of Umoja, I really appreciate and I thank them for giving me this chance to represent them, and I promise that I'm going to deliver as per their expectations. I'm going to do the much needed developments that I have some priority developments on the way. Yeah, because as I said, the first road that I've done, I'm going to do a social hall. I'm going to do the Sango Road, which is in a very bad state. I'm going to do it very soon. And soon I'm also willing to do, which is a promise to the youth. I'm going to do the Pamoja grounds. I'm going to lay a turf on Pamoja grounds and make that uplift that field to a standard field that can help those youth train and even get something like as a form of empowerment. They train to nurture their talents, and they get something small too, at least for survival. So I'm focusing on those projects so much.
Before we end up, I have remembered something. The people with special disabilities, is it too costly to get them through such programs as in power an individual?
As an individual to deal with people with disabilities?
As in, is it expensive to take them to those schools, the training, the
is it? Because it is very expensive, and that's why you see that some parents don't, they neglect them, because it needs much, a lot of extra energy. You find that you need extra energy when you're taking you engaging or taking some help to help a person with disability, and it's much more expensive than dealing with a normal person. Even the teachers who take care of them, I think they have to be paid a little bit higher salary, because it's not easy as much.
Do you think the government should step in maybe and be the cornerstone of people, of the parents with such children?
Yeah, the government should step in, because we have so many young men, young women living out here, at the elderly with disability. They have nobody who can help them. They have nobody who can give them that hope. So I think if the government can chip in and maybe build centers or somewhere that they can, the government can help them, it can make that easier for them. And we just look for at reducing the stigma for these people, because if we leave them, they are left stigmatized, then they end up even losing hope in life.
Okay. Asante sana kwa muda wako Mwesh. Makala imekuwa ni Umoja Radio Mtaani.
Sawa, karibu.
Mingia kwa ofisi nikapata tuko na watu wengine hapa, unaweza introduce kabla niingie kwao?
Ni vizuri ni introduce. I have friends here, and I said we are in the field and world of politics. I have Oyamo here, called normally commonly known as Balotelli. And I have Obonyo there. These are two youth leaders who are vying for youth leaders. We say politics is not an enmity. They are vying for the national constituency, for the constituency youth, ODM youth leadership. And we are hopeful that the best one will carry the day, and the other one will support him. I also have Michael Mbogo there, one of the beneficiaries indeed of the disability people here in Umoja 2. He's the one who motivated me to take so much seriousness in this disability thing. Michael Mbogo, also schooled in Isili. We've been brought together as young children till now. He's a good friend of mine. In fact, he's in the bursary committee, Umoja 2 bursary committee. And Mbogo has also been a boxer. He's been my trainer. He's trained me so much of my fights here and abroad. And to add to that, he has got a scholarship through the disability organizations. He's got a scholarship and is undertaking his studies, a scholarship of 1.8 million. So I don't think I have much to say.
Yeah, he will give me those remarks himself. Yeah, I have 2 aspirants here. They are vying for UMOJA 2, right? UMOJA 2 Youth Leadership Sport or constituency, Embakasi constituency. So you can remind me your names in Tanzania pande yako.
Okay, I'm Felix Obonyo. My name is Felix Obonyo from UMOJA 2 Ward. Yeah, I'm vying for the chairman of youths, Embakasi West constituency, and the ODM party.
Which plans do you have in place za kuempower my youth mtaani?
First of all, I will start with appreciating the good work of our area MCA, who is also the only elected ODM MCA within our constituency.
Wow.
He is the patron of the party. I would like to encourage our youths first to avoid premature politics. Let us work with elected leaders who are shown their willingness working with our youths. Yes, we as youths of UMOJA 2 and Embakasi West constituencies as a whole, I want us to have a clear structure where we work with the elected leaders who are willing to work with us on the ground. Because now I can see some premature politics going around of 2027.
Talking about premature politics.
Yes.
How do you understand premature politics?
A premature politics is where you start politicking 1 year after election.
Or just immediately?
Yes.
Even before the current administration has started to deliver?
Yes. We as youths, we are the people who have the strength on the ground. We should support our elected leaders because it's only through them that we will get these opportunities. We talk about joblessness among youths.
So in a few words, you can tell the youth what you are planning to do to them.
Okay, what I'm planning to do for our youths first, I want us to work to unite all of them. Yes, because we are talking of party, not we are talking of party leadership. This is under ODM. So first of all, we must support our MCA, who is only the elected MCA in Embakasi West and is from UMOJA 2. He stands as the patron of the party within the constituency. So if we want to make party strong, we must work closely with him because it has everything to do with the party. Yes. Through that, then we will get a guideline from him. Yes, because we as the youth leaders, we must work closely with him, and through his directions and the directives, we will get to a better place. But most importantly, is bringing our youths together, and because we are going for the party grassroots elections, we want to leaders, those who are aspiring as youth representative, chairman of the party, and every position. These people must be vibrant people on the ground. We don't want people who will take the party positions and go sit back with them at home. We youths are the strength of the party, and I will make sure that I bring all the world youth leaders together and to instruct them and work closely with them so that they can make the party strong within their respective areas. So that is key.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you doing, my bro?
I'm good.
Remind us your names.
My name is Balotelli. I think
Balotelli mchezaji ama
I used to play football under Maisa.
So is Balotelli your real name ama ni ya mtaani?
That's ni ya mtaani, but
okay.
It's the simplest way to find me.
Yeah, sure.
Especially up hivi mtaani.
That's not the popular name mtaani.
Yeah.
So What motivated you to go for the youth leadership post?
My motivation, I can say...
Ama you've been interacting with the youth and you have seen how they have been going through.
No, like, first of all, it was not even planned, eh? And actually, I think it's godly. Because I've never been in politics, to be sincere. Okay? So...
So now...
Mheshimiwa.
Okay, unaweza ongea tu Kiswahili.
No. We can just continue. Their MCA, Shadrack Machanje. I think he had seen me growing.
Okay, yeah.
The hood.
Sure.
I was from Usafi Court. He's from a place known as Nabingi. So he's one of our big brothers. So me, I was in a real estate company. That's from 2013.
Okay.
When I was still at the university, then I got an attachment at Regent. So they absorbed me for the attachment after graduating. So in 2022, that's when my big brother, one of these fine days, alinita kando akanambia even nataka tusaidiane hivi hii kiti tunaweza iwai. You get?
Yeah.
So okay, as I was saying earlier, initiative yangu na yenye nataka kutumia kuchesi kiti ya youth leadership Embakasi West ni youth kwa jikoni. Na maanisha nataka youth watu ile mentality ya handouts ya kukimbiza na waheshimiwa kitisha do. Watu tuingie kwa jikoni tutengeneze hii do. In short, waheshimiwa tuonyeshe njia ya venye tunaweza generate my income through initiatives zile zenye wana lobby. That will be my biggest point. Thank you.
Ambia vijana umo maneno mawili matatu.
Mavijana expecting mabeta cause Embakasi West apart from mimi kwa youth leader, God willing, nikishinda mimi najua tuko na able MP Mark Mwenje na mheshimiwa wetu able MCA Shadrack Machanje. Tukishikana najua tuta make hii Embakasi West a better place for the youth. Thanks.
Ambia vijana umo maneno mawili.
Okay, nataka niwaambie vijana wa Embakasi West as a whole ya kwamba tunafanya kazi na wale viongozi walichaguliwa, na through au viongozi ndio tutaweza kupigana na zile shida tuko nazo kama vijana. So tushikane kama vijana kwa ground, tukue na nguvu ili ikikuja kwa politics tukae kwa table. Lakini tukipigana na siasa ndogo ndogo, premature politics, tuta lose it at the end of the day. Niko macho na niko chonjo hapo kwa youth leader ODM, chama iko imara. Niko na patron yangu Mheshimiwa Shadrack Machanje, na tunajua Embakasi West ODM 2027 tutakuwa na MCS wote wa chama cha ODM. Nimemaliza nao.
Nikumbushe majina bro.
Kama kawaida sasa Mbogo Mtaras. Najua mpaka umeshtuka kupata.
Nimeingia hapo kama mweshi nikakupata nikashangaaje.
Jina sasa za hapa na huko ni tofauti lakini bado zua gazi tatu.
Okay. Nimeweza kuambiwa wewe ni one of the beneficiaries hapa wa people with disabilities. So before we get deep kwa conversation, unaweza tuambia uliwezaje kujua Mweshi anaweza come through kwa hiyo challenge umekuwa nayo?
Tunaja tumegrow pamoja na Mweshi. Tumesoma seko moja. Unaelewa? Ingawa mimi nitoka kidogo yakabaki akiendelea, mimi nikaenda kuwa mkulima mahali. So vile nikaanza kulima nikurudi shamba chuo, nikapata geometry blow. Siku moja nilikuwa na kilo 140. Kaambia babasi nisaidie unipeleke kulo train ziwezi nikatrain karate, akaniambia si train blow. Akapatia kwanza wifi yake Rwabe. Hiyo siku Rwabe ilikuwa domo ni kitambo. Ndio ndo kapiga shopping akaweka meza kando hapo ma basics kutoka hapo. Akakuwa trainer wangu, after hapo nika train hard mpaka nikakuwa pia trainer wake ndio akanisaidia zoezi. So tumekuwa pamoja basically. Tumekuwa through process pamoja. Unaelewa? So ndio siku moja kama kaniambia Jombo go. I used to think that a disability is something ya watu wengine. Siko najua ni tupine za tu happen pia si. Unaelewa? Ndio kaniambia Mbogo, mimi hata nikiingia kwa hii kiti Mbogo, mimi ndio make sure kwa manifesto yangu haitakuwa na PWD. Vile watu wengi wanasemanga tu PWD. Yake ilikuwa yani PWD nikakuwa ni action. Watu wengi wanasema PWD tu, lakini yake ilikuwa gani people with disability. Unajua kuwasaidia si tuka PWD tu ndio tunasemaga tu ya kupima watu kwa suka. So hapo ndo nikajua yenyewe BMH ni genuine.
So process imekuwa aje tangu uanze hiyo program yenyewe ni gani yenye umeingia?
Actually kuna programs mingi lakini kuna ile moja major lensi ningepata scholarship ya 1.8 million.
1.8 M. That means unapata classic education pale.
Classic education najua. Na alafu plus pia ikanisaidia because mali nilienda nikapata watu wengi kama mimi. So to speak blind people. Bila nilikuwa mtaani nilikuwa naona mazejo na feel disadvantage. Hata vile unasema ati watu wanakustigmatize. Basically hata mtu unajistigmatize.
Inazangana wewe mwenyewe sometimes.
Sometimes it can. Even your own family. Wanakupeleka mahali huko kula gigire.
By the way, kabla tuendelee, being born ukiwa normal, alafu unafika mahali unakuja unakuwa disabled. Sina affect mtu psychologically.
Wagena kwa hapo mwanzo before accept several levels of acceptance. So ile ya kwanza unaanza labda na denial, unakuwa na anger, so unaanza kubagain why me, ndio unaingia tena kwa depression kinga. Alafu inafika tu mahali tu lazima tuta accept liwe liwalo, kama vile Moses ali accept kwa stammer na bado akatumiwa Aaron lakini bado akaenda gaki. So una accept.
So uko kwa sector ya visually impaired
Yeah, I'm a visually impaired person.
Okay.
Unaweza sema pia blind. Biblia inatuita kipofu, you know.
So uko kwa shule kama gani?
Kama sasa niko Kenya Society for the Blind. Alafu pia
masomo imekuwa aje kwa Kenya Society of Blind?
Kwa kitu ya kwanza nilikuwa enlightened sana because vile ndienda huko nikamit watu wengi. Nikaenda kwanza nikala kutumia white cane. Unajua? Nilikuwa gatuni.
Hizi ni vitu zenye mtu azijifunzia tu huko ndani.
Unajua lazima ujue vile inatumika na kujua nguvu ya hii white cane. Hii white cane unafaa ukifanya hivi kwa barabara zuna stretch. Gari zisimame. Zinafaa zisimame. Sisi kama tunapatana. But bila kwenda chuo huwezi kuwa enlightened vitu kama hivyo. Utakuwa unatembea na.
Unadhani madereva wako na hiyo knowledge?
Tipati. Si wanafaa wajue. Rada ni hivyo. Unless unapata pia kuna wale labda madereva labda wako na mavisirani zao. Unajua pia Kosagi pia. Babylon system hapa na pale.
So apart from where kuna watu wengine wameweza kuwa recruited na area MCA kwa hiyo program?
Watu wengi because I remember kama mimi sasa for example tukienda assessment ndio tupate kadi ya National Council for People with Disability. I was not alone, tulikuwa wengi. Na MCA amelipia watu wengi na mpaka sasa anaenda kulipia watu, anaendelea kulipia watu assessment. Unaelewa? Wale mama so unaelewa? So your assessment so unapata at least ile MCA said assessment ndio huko tulizapata government doctor for real ndio. Alafu sasa unajua so kishakuwa assessed, so kishapata ile kadi unajua ina create pia awareness. Na kitu MCA mimi naweza shukuru zaidi hiyo ofisi yake through Shadrack Machanjani, unajua ame create hiyo awareness, unaona anakumeka hata kama wewe ni disabled unafiliwa ni whole man, full man. Hata mkiniangalia unanikitetemeka, niko sawa.
Backtambi kamea tena.
Wewe una feel too strong, unafikiria normal.
Unaporafu ukienda pale shule unapata na watu wengine una feel uko peke yako, so ina kumotivate.
So ina alafu na pia wale tunamit tunapata ni people who are successful in life. You understand? So initially they start becoming role models. You understand? So you learn orientation and mobility. You learn how to walk with this white cane. You learn the power of the white cane. You know your rights as a person with disability. You understand? Unajijua, unajielewa. And you also learn how to do advocacy at all levels. Unaelewa? So you start advocating for the rights of
umesema advocacy and from kulingana information iko nayo you are the leader of your disabilities hapo UMOJA. So how has the process been from mobilization, hiyo create awareness, advocacy imekuaje?
Kitu ya kwanza mikutano zote za mhesha kikua lazima sisi watu tuko na disability lazima tukuje. Sasa zingine pia tunakuwa tunaenda door to door. Kama kama posters to placards pale tunapunga na wasee. Kuna mtu fulani umemwona?
Mshapata mmoja amefungiwa mahali.
Yes. Wengi hata sisi tutakakutaja kwa sababu
and mnaambianga the family the consequences ya kufungia msee kwa nyumba.
unajua kwa watu wanajua familia hawakuwa wanajua because hiyo ndio imekuwa tradition since memorial. Kuna spota zamani mtu yuko na disability alikuwa anachukuliwa sana kama yeye ni bad omen. Unaelewa? So ni ile kusensitize watu because hata mimi sasa ungeniambia ati 20 years ago ndakuwa hivi ama pale nikitrain nikigather pia nimekuwa actor, unaelewa? Nikiendesha magari nikifanya majob zangu ungeniambia siku moja nitakwenda nitambia na hii white cane nilikuwa nikijoin ya watu wengine labda cast, unaelewa? But ni ugonjwa tu ya kawaida, so tuna sensitize watu on that. We're sensitizing people, we're sensitizing families, unaelewa? Na hiyo ndio tunafanya at the local level, unaelewa? At the local level. Na pia tunabonga kasi ina tuko na mheshimiwa akienda kule hivi akibonga na wale policy makers, ana try pia kukuwa na narrative, unaona, narrative about us, tuko na representation. Sijui kama una get na maana.
Na get
watu yani unapata watu wajue pia sisi watu kama wale watu wengine.
So tukimalizia Mr. Bogo, because time is not on our side. Kwanza tunauliza maswali mbili. Kwanza message yako ni gani kwa the area MCA juu initiative yenye amekuwa akifanya? Ungemotivate aje?
Mimi kitu naweza mwambia, endelea kuwa na hiyo roho. And let me tell you mheshimiwa, mahali huko kama unanisikiliza, people never chose you. God chose you. God ndio alikuchagua. A good leader comes from God. A good leader comes from God. So God ndio alikuchagua mheshimiwa. Tuendelea tuko na hiyo roho, endelea kuwa na hiyo spirit mheshimiwa.
Na message yako kwa wase wengine wenye wanaishi kwa disabilities ni gani huko nje?
Disability by the way is not the person who is physically handicapped. Disability inakuwa society. So hii ni ya ule mtu uko physically handicapped na pia ule mtu mnaishi na huyo mtu. Ulemavu ni mindset. Ulemavu ni mindset. Stand up. Kuja, seek help. And kuna so many organizations and institutions ambazo zitaku empower. Unaelewa? Uweze kujijua. Seek help. Usikae tu pale. Seek help na usiogope. Simama. Stand up and be counted.
Yes. Stand up and be counted. Exactly the words of Mr. Bogo hapo. Yeah, as you have seen, our dear viewers, our today's UMOJARADIOMTAANI has been here at UMOJA 2 area code hapo kwa chief. We have interviewed the mheshimiwa, youth aspirants, and one of the beneficiaries of the people with disabilities. Actually, he's one of the, I can say one of the best performing MCAs I've interacted with so far. He's doing some awesome job. So follow through the interview and you'll get the exclusive report. This is UMOJARADIOMTAANI, because the community matters. I am Anthony Mbithi.
Mimi ningependa kumalizia ile tumesema siasa si uadui, na umoja tu ningependa kuomba watu wapige siasa safi. Mimi nilichaguliwa na chama cha ODM na hiyo ndio chama yangu, na vile mmeona niko na youth leaders wa ODM hapa, wale wanataka kuania. Kuna wale wanataka kuania viti zingine za ODM kwa hizi elections zinakuja za grassroots. Kila mtu apige siasa safi na watu wajue kuna maisha baada ya siasa. Siasa ya chuki, fitina na mambo ya uchochezi tuache kabisa. Because for me, hata mimi, I won this seat against all odds. Mimi nilikuwa tu mtu wa barabara hapa Umoina. So many people walikuwa na pesa, my other competitors, but God alinibless. So we say that kiti ule mtu atashinda ni Mungu atakuwa amekupatia hiyo kiti. Na watu wachezi siasa ziko za hizi fitina na chuki na uchochezi hapa umoja tu. Tunataka ikiisha all we remain brothers, kwa sababu ODM ni chama yetu sisi wote. Tunafaa tumeke ODM more stronger and stronger hapa umoja tu na Embakasi West in general. So we preach for unity hapa Embakasi West and umoja tu. Na wish every contestant all the best, na we hope to see ODM being stronger than ever. Asante.